Yeah, g'day everyone and welcome back to the Gold Coast Titans Frontline podcast. Dane from Clarkey's Rugby League column, joined as always by my co-host Russ from Dani&Blake of social media fame. How are we going, my friend?
Oh, fame. Look at this. He's giving me raps straight away. 2 from 2, mate. How good is that? Last 2 wins. Sitting 5th on the ladder. How good is that, mate? I think we were as high as 3rd at one stage. 4 games. I was like, wow, we're getting
Stop the hunt right now.
Yeah, I know, mate. Straight up.
Season.
Buy your tickets. October, we're playing. But it was a good week. Great game. So, yeah.
All right, guys, we're live all over social media. We're live on Clarkey's Rugby League column, Facebook, Instagram, and the Titans Frontline YouTube. If you're on Facebook or YouTube, we will see your live comments roll through, and we can bring them up on the screen. If you're joining us from Blake's TikTok or my Instagram, won't be able to bring those comments up, but we still encourage you to get involved with the show. Let's jump straight into it, mate. Let's not fuss around. Let's dive straight into grading our performance, mate. What grade do you give our boys after our victory over the Roosters?
I can't give us an A yet, but I'm close. I'm very close. The errors we're still making is making me do a B+ instead of an A-. We can still improve. There's definitely room for improvement. Would we have won like we did against the Roosters if we were versing a team like the Storm? No way. We need to clean those errors up. So I'm saying B+, but we're definitely on the right track.
Yeah, I had it the exact same. B+. Look, it was a dominant performance. We got a lot of things right, but there's no doubt there's still some areas to work on there. Now, it's 2 fantastic defensive wins in a row for our side, and you've got to give praise there. But I just don't think we're quite at an A yet. Just because I believe we will play finals this year, or at least I believe we're a solid chance to. I think a lot of Titans fans felt that way optimistically coming into the season. And look, I had the Roosters lower on the ladder. So if we are a finals-bound side, then we should be beating them. We did beat them. We got the job done. So awesome there. But if we're going to measure ourselves off the metric of where I expect us to be versus where the Roosters are, then we should be winning that game. So that's why I fall short of an A. Despite it being a dominant performance, I want to see us do that against one of the top dogs or one of the more elite sides.
100%.
Let's jump into our Titans news segment, mate. We finally got some news. It's been a quiet start to the year on the news front for us. Unfortunately, we start with some bad news. Keano Kini undergoing surgery on a herniated disc in his neck. He says he's aiming to return in the post-origin period, mate. How do you think we handle this? Do you think we continue with De Groot at fullback, or would you like to see us trial some different things?
At the moment, like De Groot had a solid game. I think Desi would have said, don't try and do anything too fancy. It's like your second game. He didn't make too many mistakes. Like he just got the job done. You know what I mean? I feel like in the future he can get more involved. He didn't do too many runs out of his own end. I think he only ran for 80 meters in the game, where we're used to Kenny running for over 200 a game. But I feel like that will come. And I feel like at the moment we stick with the group. We had a good win. Just see what he can do. 100%. Give Jalen a chance. You know what I mean?
I completely agree. My only unfortunate thing to tack onto that is by giving him a chance, I actually think we could lose him in the future. I think this is his last year on contract with us, and his manager was openly saying in the preseason that he'll accept offers elsewhere because he wants to be a fullback, whereas the Titans were looking to more mold him into a centre. So he gets an opportunity front and centre now to realistically set up his future. Unfortunately, 100%. I don't think it'll be with us, just by that, what his manager was saying, but a big opportunity personally for Jalen De Groot. And by him taking that opportunity to the best standard he can, then that helps out the Titans. So that
100%
wins.
It does. And like you said, it helps his career. Obviously, we don't need another fullback in our team. When Kinney's fit, we've got Jaden Campbell, Brimo. There's quite a few players that can play there. And he would be the 4th string fullback if they weren't in the halves right now. So you would think another club, if he can start there, he's going to go there, and rightly so.
Yeah, that's absolutely fair. Like at the end of the day, you can absolutely love the Titans, but the reality is you got to know that rugby league's a short career professionally. You got to make the most of it. G'day everyone that's jumping in the comments section on YouTube. I can see Boston says, are you all reading the chat? Absolutely, mate. We read every comment that rolls through, and we try to bring them up on the screen as well. So please get involved, guys. Final point for me here, Blake. I'll just say to Keano, if I could say something to Keano, rather, take as much time as you need. Please don't rush back from
this. Necks aren't good injuries, man. And he was so close to being really, really bad. So take as long as you need. If you need to take the year off, man, you take the year off. So
exactly, because
we want to see you fit.
Yeah, and we want to see you have a long, prosperous career with the Titans at the end of the day. Some NRLW news. We don't usually get too much at this time of the year, but Jamie Chapman re-signs until the end of 2027. And I'll tack on to the end of that one as well, Blake. Congratulations to Ivania Polite. She announced she's pregnant on Instagram, so she won't play for us. Yeah, she won't play for us this year. But for me, that opens up a switch for Jamie Chapman to the fullback position.
Fullback, for sure. Fullback has to. She's our marquee player for the girls, so I feel like she has to play that dominant fullback position. She played it for the Indigenous All-Stars this year, and she was solid. I feel like she needs to be the fullback for the girls this year, for sure.
Yeah, and I think by re-signing until the end of 2027, it gives us long enough to realistically trial her properly at fullback and see if that is her actual position. And if it is, then when Polite returns, then you simply slot her back into the centres where she plays for Australia and Queensland Maroons. So no biggie there. But yeah, on behalf of the Titans frontline community, congratulations to Polite, her partner and her family. That is awesome. Let's move on to the game review, mate. The most exciting segment when we win. We defeat the Sydney Roosters 30-12. I'll hand it straight over to you, mate. What was your biggest takeaway from this game?
I think mine and yours will be the exact same. Our defense, our goal line defense in particular, was amazing. Like, we held them. They had so many attacking sets on the line. We were forcing their errors, and I feel like this is Dez's football. This is exactly what he wants. And I just have to give the boys a massive round of applause. Yes, we were in the fight. It was the last 20 minutes that we won that game with a great Jaden Campbell read and interception, and then we just took the game away from him. But it was all that hard work on the goal line that got us that win.
For me, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't perfect. But those are the character testing wins you want in rugby league. Yep. You don't want to blow every team off the park and then get to the grand final like the Panthers did in 2020 and not know how to react when your character really gets tested, right? I think that was the most pleasing aspect from me in conjunction with the goal line defense. I just felt that when you're getting your character tested and you're coming out on top and you're defending your goal line like we have, or try line, I should say, for the past 2 games in a row, I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves, but those are hallmarks, traits of a premiership winning side.
We've conceded 3 tries in 2 games. That's good.
And when you think about it, mate, we conceded 4 tries in the first 20 minutes against the Doggies.
Exactly. So, and you know what? I go back to that game, and I'm obviously the Bulldogs are probably the most informed team at the moment. Yeah, rightly so. And I look, and no other teams put 24 points on them. Mm-hmm. We did. I know we lost that game in the first 20 minutes, but we put 24 points on them.
Yeah,
that's just saying something.
That's a big call too when you think of like the Sharks. I think they're one of the best attacking teams in the comp. They only scored 6 against the Bulldogs.
That's right.
Like, really, you rub out the first 20 minutes of our season where we were...
We've been very good.
We have, man. And like, we were at Belmore when their fans and players knew it was the last time they played that ground for the next year or so.
Yeah,
like,
that was a hype game, man. They weren't 100%. Losing that game. They were never losing that game.
Yeah. I think in this one, wet weather conditions aside, make no mistake, we did frustrate the Roosters. Their attack didn't come naturally at all, and they did push the pass. But as much as I want to give us credit for that as well, I think it is fair. We need to call a spade a spade. They only had a 59% completion rate and 19 errors. Now, I like to think we're a part of that, right, mate? But we probably can't take all the credit there, can we?
Nah, they had a shocker, especially that second half. I think they completed under 50%. They were like, it was absolutely terrible, their completion rates. And I said this last week. I think their halves are the worst in the comp, and I think it showed. They rely on Tedesco way too much, and we just gave it to them.
Yeah, let's go to an area we'd like to see some improvement. I'll kickstart this one for us, mate. And I just think it's the start to our halves. Now, keep in mind, I'm nitpicking here because it was a dominant victory, but I've got to find somewhere where we can improve and get a little bit better. It took us, I think, 10 minutes in both halves to find our groove for the first 10 minutes there. And in fact, when you look at when they scored both of their tries, that was then. Yeah, it was in those periods. Yeah, I think the first one was like the 6 minute and the next one was the 48, something like that. Yeah. Both inside the opening 10 minutes of both halves. So although it was dominant, although we did a lot of things right, if I want to offer some constructive criticism or ways I want to see us continue to improve, I just want to see us come out the gate with that intensity, Russ. Because, we're starting with Regan Campbell-Gillard and we're starting with Tino and Moeki Fotuaika. That's a powerful middle. We want to come out and steamroll from the get-go.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
we don't want to, lean our way into games and find our rhythm. We just want to barge down the front door. So that's the only kind of, not even a negative, but that's the only criticism I suppose I had from that game. Anything else from yourself?
I was very similar to you. I feel like the forwards could be just off the first 5-10 minutes could just be a bit more explosive. Also, there was a couple of times when they were up. I think they were up 10-6, and or 12-6, and we're making dumb errors. We're trying to get our way back in the game. We're making scrum errors from the scrum. I think we knocked it on from the scrum. Just stupid little errors like that. Like,
yeah,
they're coach killers. Like, if we can get that out of our game, that's all we need to do, man. I'm telling you.
Mate, I love Chris Randall. When he knocked that ball on, I literally stood up and I said, how does that happen? Like,
I know. Like,
it's one of those
just defended our line and we got out of there, and straight away we're defending it again. And we did. We defended it again, but they're coach killers.
Yeah, man. Like, if Chrissy Randall did that in a finals game against a top dog team like the Panthers or Storm, maybe we're not defending that line. That could literally lose us the game. It was that much of a silly error, but he made up for it. It was still good. Brody from YouTube notes, we are notoriously slow starters. The only games I can think last year where we started well was the Sharks win, which was awesome in Coffs Harbour, and the Warriors. And I think Brody makes a really good point. He makes a great point, man, because when we get it right, we absolutely get it right. And we've got a big fan tuning into the show here, a Titans member. We've got Dani herself, your wife.
Oh, what's she doing there?
What is going on, mate?
Oh, wow. Don't listen to her comments.
All right, mate, I'll wrap this one up for me. I just think for me, we had to show consistency in defense based on what we saw last round. We had to carry that forward. As Titans fan, we are so used to being good in little patches throughout the season and then throwing it away. Dare I bring up the second half against the Broncos last year into the disaster and Sharks loss. So the fact we didn't do that again, super pleasing. For me, we had to beat the Roosters in first series about being a finals team this year, and we won by 3 converted tries. Super pleasing. Final point for me, we know Keanu Kinney is so important to our team. We had to show that we can recover from his injury and get a win. So for me, we ticked all the boxes, mate. We take those 2 competition points and we move on. Did you want to add anything else?
All I'll add is normally in the past, we've always been like, we'd be up by 14, 16, and we always know that's not enough. And we were in the fight to that game. We were actually the ones that took it away from them. And we're normally slow finishers. We don't finish that well. And we were the ones that scored, 3 tries in the last 20 minutes, 4 tries in the last 20 minutes, actually. So that's huge.
You're right, man. There was so many times last year where we'd have a lead at half time. And I would just say to whoever I was watching with, whether it was at the ground, at home with family, friends, whatever, I'd say, it's not enough. Don't say anything yet. Just don't say anything just yet. Let's move into our 3-2-1s, mate. I'll let you jump ahead with this one. I suspect we're pretty similar this round. The clear standouts were the clear standouts. So go ahead and give me your 3-2-1s, please.
I feel like Jaden Campbell for sure gets man of the match for me. I feel like he controlled the game really good. I feel like that intercept, that read, was just awesome. And that actually changed the whole game. As soon as that was the momentum. They had us. If he didn't take that, they would have scored. Like, they were going in the corner then. And after that, he just controlled the game so well. I go 2 points. I go Tino. His efforts are awesome. He's put in every game. He could have been 3 points nearly every game, to be honest. He's been our leader. He's been what a captain needs to be. Scored an awesome try. Everyone thought we were going for a kick there. And that leads into my 1 point. I've given it again to Sammy Verrills because he's had 2 try assists from dummy half. He's doing everything the coach needs him. I know you get like, everyone's a bit like, oh, Sammy. I feel like he's doing exactly what Desi wants him to do. He's making 35 tackles a game. He had no errors. Mate, I think he will be out. Did he get suspended? Yeah, he will be out. No?
No, he didn't get suspended. No, Sammy,
what am I thinking of? I just feel like he's doing the job, like it, and I'm happy with him at 9, and he's exactly what we need right now.
And just to quickly note there, Des Hasler is famously a coach that doesn't really like his hookers being too flashy. He wants that to come from the halves and fullback. Think Tom Travojevic, Benny Barber. Michael Leisha, for example, was the most elite attacking hooker you could ever imagine in the under-20s comp. Everyone thought he was like literally what Harry Grant is now back in the day. He signed with the Bulldogs, and Michael Ennis went the other way to the Sharks. And all the attack went from his game. He literally never ran the ball. He just gave good service and defended well. So for me, that's what Desi likes from his hookers, and he took
him to a grand final, did he? Didn't he? No.
Des Hasler took the Bulldogs to 2 grand finals, I want to say.
2014.
And 2012, I think. Yeah, if I'm correct. He took them to 2 grand finals, didn't win one there, and he took Manly to 2 grand.
He won with he won.
I think he won 2 with Manly. So he's a premiership winning, multi-time premiership winning coach. Yeah. And he knows what he needs from his players, and he gets it from them. So Sammy Verrills is doing his job. I love that.
I think he's the perfect 9 for us right now. Everyone always says we need a 9, but at the moment this year, I'm happy with what Verrills is doing.
Very happy as well, mate. My 3 points went to Jaden Campbell. As you touched on, not only was it a crucial intercept, but it was an all or nothing play. If he gets it wrong, that's I'm trying to think, he missed the conversion, but that's a potential 10-point swing there, right? In the sense that the Roosters can score and convert, they get 6 points instead. Take 6 points off them, give us 4 the other way. So that's a huge swing there. But why I love that from Jaden, when he goes for these all or nothing plays, he has such great instincts with the game that he gets the decision-making right around it. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of players that have probably more X factor than Jaden Campbell, but they don't get it right as much. And so there are a lot of errors in their game. Think Zach Lomax's, Stephen Crichton, as good as he is, has had a few this year. Whereas Jaden Campbell, when he goes for the all or nothing play, when he pulls the trigger, he gets it right. And that was a very important play for us. 2 points, of course, has to go to Tino.
Has to be.
Another captain's knock. Like, what can we say at this stage? There's nothing we can say.
He's clear at the moment for best and fairest this year. Like, he's absolutely clear.
Yep. Consistency levels off the chart, man. Coming back from an ACL, only going to keep getting better. I love the bloke, and I want to have a mullet like him one day, and I am working on it. And my 1 point goes to Dave Fafita. Now, not Dave's most dominant game when we talk about stat lines, and I know a lot of people think of Dave as like a fantasy god or a super coach god because he gets all those cool stats, but I just think his impact passed the eye test in the sense that he came on and he took it to Spencer Laniu. He smashed him. Then he frustrated Laniu, and Laniu pushed him and gave away the penalty. And he aspires to be the leader of that forward pack, Spencer Laniu. He wants to be their intimidation man.
He's their enforcer,
Yeah, now that JWH, Warrior Hargraves is gone, he wants that role. And Dave basically said, no, mate, that ain't you. That's not you tonight anyway. And he took it to him. So Dave gets my 1 point, mate.
I thought you would go Dave. That's why I sort of went with Verrills. And I want to say Dave was a classic Dave Fafita, try assist to the wraparound, quick hands to Sammy. We love seeing it because and that was on the right because he normally plays on the left. So normally we see that out to Kinney, and he played it off to Sammy on the right, and it was beautiful.
I do a podcast with Andy Raymond every Sunday, and we do a quick recap of the round under half an hour. And he made the comment that he still can't believe that Dave's coming off the bench and Cleese is starting ahead of him. He thought that whilst Cleese is a good, honest player, Dave has too much potential to be on the bench.
Yep.
Where are you with that? Are you still at the mind that he hasn't quite earned it over Cleese yet?
He will start. He will definitely. Yeah. We all know he will start, but at the moment, Cleese isn't doing bad. Like, I think he topped our tackle count again. And as we know, Des is all about defense, and I feel like it's working. So he's not going to change it. Cleese isn't doing enough wrong to say, nah, Dave, you're starting. You're playing the 80 now. I think it will happen, but at the moment, no. I think Cleese has got to stay, and he will. Yeah,
I agree. And I think what it also does, it says to Dave, hey, you might be $1 million player for us, but you need to fight and claw and earn your spot like any other player would have to. And that'll keep bringing out the best in Dave as his match fitness builds. Because he did miss a chunk of the preseason again, which was unfortunate with, I think it was the ankle injury. So it's nice to see Dave getting back to his best and earning that spot back for me anyway. Let's move into our affiliates recap section. So the Ipswich Jets defeat the Tweed Seagulls 28-24. So it was a tight game between our feeder clubs. I can tell you Alan Fitzgibbon scored a try for the Jets and Alec Winkie scored for the Seagulls in terms of our
3 weeks straight.
He has scored 3 weeks straight.
Wow.
Unfortunately, Q-Cup hasn't updated the stats on that game because it was the last game of the round. So we weren't able to get specifics this time. Next round, both our teams play on Saturday. Tweed, they are the opener to the Titans game. So they'll versus the PNG Hunters at Seabus. That'll be a good game. And on the same day in Ipswich, our Jets have the Burleigh Bears, who were our old feeder club but ditched us for the Broncos. They've defeated Tweed this year, so hopefully we can get some revenge there. Our Jets sit in 4th place. And I don't know if you know this about the Jets, Blake, but let me quickly recap you. For 2 seasons, I think they won 1 game of football until we took over as their affiliate.
Really? They were that bad beforehand?
They were that bad. They won, I think it was 1 game in 2 years. We came in last year and they got some results. Toward the end of the year, they sacked the coach and got in a new coach. And the fact that they're in 4th right now is literally...
That's huge then.
I know. Yeah. It's massive, man. Like,
wow, I didn't know that. So there you go.
Yeah, no offense to the Jets, but before we came in and helped them out, they were a bit of a laughing.
So who was their feeder club before?
Roosters.
Was
They had
Roosters,
Sam
okay.
Walker's younger brother coming through and stuff like
Right.
that. So,
Yeah, okay.
doing good there. And Tweed are also in 7th. So both of our feeder clubs
In the 8.
are in the top 8.
Yep.
On to our young guns that play in the Malmaninga Cup. Cooper By, Zane Harrison and Sam Stevenson. They actually play tonight, 7:30 p.m. New South Wales time in Ipswich against the Jets. So good luck to all 3 players. Unfortunately, that won't be televised. The only way to watch that is to have a Q Plus subscription, they call it. So we'll have a look at that, and we'll let you guys know how they went next round.
Yep.
Our next segment, mate, is any changes to the team. So for all those that are with us here live, we don't know team list yet. And obviously, and if you're listening later in time, then we're still about 23 hours away from team list coming out at the time of recording. I'll go to you first, Russ. Is there any changes you would make to our current 17 now, noting we have won 2 in a row?
You can't change it. Like the only spot I could maybe do is maybe on the wing, maybe Francis. I don't know. If you're saying Fitzgibbon had a good game, he's scoring tries. I guess that left, I don't know. Like maybe we could change that. But then you got to think people are criticizing Tony Francis on the wing. Yeah, he doesn't have the strike power of Loffy, but his defense is a lot better as well. So. I don't know. I don't think he'll change it, but maybe that change. I don't think anything else changes.
Yeah. I'm not firm on changes at all when we've won 2 in a row. I think you stick with the winning formula.
100%.
For the sake of this segment, I'll offer a few different perspectives and I'll get you to comment on them. Tony Francis, you mentioned him. I'm a huge fan myself, but we have seemed to have lost some spark down that left edge, no doubt, because Olofiana Khan-Pereira scores about a try a game on average. Now, Alan Fitzgibbon, if you guys are listening to this as a podcast later in time, go ahead and YouTube Alan Fitzgibbon try for the North Sydney Bears. It was last year. You will see he is literally the quickest player. Like I reckon he would be quicker than Olofiana Khan-Pereira and
You saw it in the trials.
He's
so
burn
the people.
Man.
He's so quick. Like he burnt people in the trials. Like he's so quick. I'm
just wondering, do the Titans think eventually, okay, we're not quite getting what we thought we'd get out of Tony. We're getting a bit more defense there, but we want more offense on that left side because our defense is already so good, and that could present Alan Fitzgibbon with an opportunity. Only other one I'll mention, Russ, is RCG. I think he's been a little bit underwhelming to open the season, just given he was such a marquee signing for us, and he doesn't look fit enough at the moment. And I'm not saying that in an attack because he did miss a lot of the preseason with a shoulder injury. So I do expect that match fitness will continue to build up. And there is a genuine excuse there. But at the moment, averaging 27 tackles at 88% efficiency and 73 running meters. For Reggie, I think when he's at his best, you're getting 30 tackles a game at a higher efficiency and probably 150 meters. So I do want to see RCG pick it up a little bit because if not, as you said, Jacob Alec-Winky, he scored 3 weeks in a row.
100%. And I'm pretty sure I looked up that Isaac Fasul-Mala'ali, did he play not 1 minute? They didn't use him off the bench?
Yeah,
I swear.
Potentially.
I don't think we used him at all.
I'd have to check that. That would be very interesting if so.
That's interesting. Like, and you gotta think Jacob, if any forward goes out right now, Jacob would have to be the one that's going straight in.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, mate. I actually didn't notice that. Isaac did not play for us.
And he was in the 17, so he didn't play 1 minute.
Very strange move there by Desi. Maybe he just didn't want to disrupt the rhythm, I can't understand that, right? Because if you're not going to use another middle option there in Isaac,
I'd put a Jacob on that has a back row as well, like play through the middle. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, at least with Jacob, you're getting some X factor by chasing points, right? Very good observation there, guys. Let us go ahead in the comments and let us know if you noticed that as well. Isaac did not play a single minute for us last round, and let us know. Do you think we should persist with that or make a change? That's really great.
I get it if there's a 14 on there. Sometimes they don't use them, but a middle forward, that's a bit weird.
It is strange. It's very strange. And you could make the argument that like if it was like 24 all right, and you don't want to take Tino or Mo off, fair enough. But like by the 72nd minute, we were 24-12. You should at least give him a run, you'd think.
The game's pretty much done,
What I'm also interested in is if we actually used all 8 of our interchanges as well, because that would also be strange. So we did use all 8 of our interchanges. We just chose not to put him on. Yeah, interesting to see what's going on there and how we if we change that. That's a really great observation, mate. Let's leave that there for the comments and come back to it if we need and move on to our game preview. Saturday, 5:30 p.m. We host the Dolphins at Seabus Super Stadium. And although this side
one of our rivals.
Yes, and that's what I was going to say, Russ. Although they're 0-4 to start the year,
Oh.
Titans, don't forget, we've only beaten them once out of the 4
I know.
we've had, and they've embarrassed us a few times. So we cannot look past this game at all. Break it down for us in whichever way you want to kick us off, please, mate.
Like, right now, you go, this will be the first game that we actually start as favourites. We have not started as favourites in any games, and I just hope that this doesn't jinx us, because at the moment, clearly we should win. We should win how they're playing. We should win comfortably. I think we should win 13 plus, really. They have not been good at all. I've watched most of their games, and they're pretty average. But we don't have a good record against them. But we didn't have a good record against the Roosters. We hadn't won, in 9 years? Or something?
12. I think it was like 11 or 12. I think it was higher than 9.
Whatever. So many games, and we broke that hoodoo. We have beaten them once, the Dolphins. But, yeah, I just don't want us to be complacent. I feel like if we just play how we played against the Roosters, we will get it done. We fix up a couple of errors, we will get it done. I think we will get it done quite easily. Yeah.
I'm in the same boat, mate. I give us a really great chance here. Probably the best chance I've given us all season. I've tipped us in every game so far and felt we were a genuine chance. But I'm probably at an 8 out of 10 here in terms of confidence.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of confidence, when I go to the Dolphins right now and I watch where it's not working for them, there's effort there and they are trying, but they're a side that is short on leaders and experience. When Jesse Bromwich left on the field and Wayne Bennett left as the coach, I go to the Tigers game. Now, they were leading that game by 6, and they were not playing as a side that was in front and looking to advance their position. They were literally a side that was like, holy crap, we're in front here. Like, how do we manage this?
How do we finish
this game? They had
no
confidence.
Yeah.
Exactly right. Then we go to the Broncos game where they were slightly behind. Again, there was good effort, but there wasn't okay, we need 10 points. How do we come up with this? So I do think they're lacking confidence. They had a lot of energy last round as well. And that's because against the Broncos, that is a huge rivalry game for them. I don't see them replicating that same sort of emotional energy against us. When it's not quite in that rival category as the Broncos are for them. And then when we talk about them having a lack of leadership, Russ, Tom Gilbert's suspended for this game, their current captain. That is a huge gap in leadership for this side. I go to their star player. I'd say...
Do you reckon Kafusi?
Yeah, or Cody Nicarima, someone of that ilk.
Bit of experience, because that's what I was going to say. I feel like that's where they actually lack. Like you're saying, they can't close out a game, and that's where you need a halfback, like JC did the other day. Isaiah Katoa is a good up-and-coming player, but he hasn't hit the heights that they're saying. And at the moment, he's not closing their games out, and I feel like that's where we can get on top. Their halves, again, aren't they? They got Nicarima, and they've got him. And if they're without Gilbert...
a big loss.
Yeah, huge.
Look, their star player is the Hammer, no doubt. He's
been quiet. He's been quiet.
Yep. Plus his missus plays for us, so maybe he'll take it even easier again for the mighty Titans. Chapo will get in his ear and say, "Hey, no line breaks tonight, honey." Look, I'll be completely honest, man. If we lose this game, I'll be really disappointed because we have such a great opportunity here to build a 3-game winning streak and put some serious momentum into our season early. And when you look at where it all went wrong for us last year, it was starting with no momentum at all in our season 0-7.
That's right.
So we've got a big opportunity here. I think the key for me is pressuring Isaiah Katoa. I know you mentioned there that his development hasn't been as rapid as we thought, but I just feel since him joining the Dolphins, they've never really paired a similar and experienced quality half with him. You look at like a Michael Morgan, he had Jonathan Thurston. You look at a Nathan Cleary, he had James Maloney. And that really is the difference for me because you look at players that we had like Ash Taylor and Kane Elgey who didn't have the experienced similar head to lean on, and they struggle. And I'm not suggesting that he's struggling because he has been pretty good for them. In fact, you probably say he's been their best player most rounds.
Yeah.
But for that reason, if we can shut him down and pressure him, he will feel like I've been our best player a lot of this year. I've got to come up with a play here, and we can really shut down their most potent weapon. And really make them struggle, in my opinion.
I agree.
Let's finish on a try scorer, mate. Give us a try scorer, please, and a margin prediction for this game for you.
So I reckon we win 13 plus. So I reckon we can win about the same scoreline we beat the Roosters by. All right. And a try scorer. Did we hit last week? Do you know if we hit? don't
I
even
think
know.
we said Bo Fermor the week before, and we got that. I think you went Brian Kelly last round, and I went Tony Francis. So I think we both missed our tip there.
I'm going to go Philip Sammy. I reckon he goes back to back. He gets another try.
I love Phil Sammy, man. He's such a legend. Look, for me, when I was looking for who I think will score in this game, I thought centres immediately. I thought that in the wet weather conditions, if we can beat the Roosters by 18 at home, afternoon conditions where it's hopefully not raining, I should say, then we'll have a bit more ball movement. So I went to the centres, and Philip Sammy scored for us last round, so I wanted to go the opposite side. So I've gone Brian Kelly as one of our try scorers. And I agree with you. I think we can win this game 13 plus and put some serious pain on the Dolphins in front of our home fans. And I just want Titans fans, and if I could theoretically, speak to the players right now, I will never forget what happened at Suncorp Stadium at Anzac round 2023, I think it was, or 2023. That I was there live, mate. We were up 24-0 at halftime. We're denied a try on the stroke of halftime to go to 30-0, and we blow that lead. This is a side that has inflicted some serious pain on us over the years, and I want to return that favour. So 100%. Come on, Titans, let's go ahead and get this job done. We all think we can. Let's go and do it, boys. That will do our live show, guys. Whether you were here live with us throughout, or you're listening later as a podcast, or watching later on YouTube, it all means the same to us. And we absolutely love you being a part of the Titans Frontline community. We love seeing all the comments come through whilst we're live, and we try to feature them throughout. If you are listening as a podcast, YouTube, whatever it is, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It helps the community grow, and it does help us a great deal. And if you can, next week, 5:30 p.m. New South Wales time on the Monday, join us on Clarkey's Rugby League column on Facebook or the Titans Frontline on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much, and go the Titans, Russ.
Go the Titans. Let's do it.
Boom.